Every time the poisonous mosquitoes attacked, my family would relentlessly demand to go on a trip. In my past life, when the poisonous mosquito epidemic broke out, my younger brother, who had just graduated from high school, insisted on traveling to the infected area. He called it a trend. Just as they finished preparing, I pulled out news articles to persuade them to stay home. Later, the epidemic worsened. Our area also had cases. Because I had a fever, they stubbornly claimed I was bitten by a poisonous mosquito and kicked me out of the house. After that, I was truly bitten by a poisonous mosquito. With no specific antidote and no timely treatment, I died right in front of our door. My brother even gloated, blaming me for being too talkative and ruining his graduation trip. My parents watched coldly. Fearing infection, they didn't even spare me a glance. They called someone to take me directly to the crematorium. When I opened my eyes again, I was back to the day my brother was discussing the trip to the infected area. I clenched my fists. This time, you all can enjoy your trip thoroughly. Mom, Dad, I want to travel here. I want to eat seafood, char siu buns, and there's even double-layer milk tea there. Wow, so many delicious things. I want to eat them all. My brother held up his phone, jumping with excitement. My parents laughed indulgently, agreeing with him. All right, where does our darling want to go? We'll go there. In my past life, they kicked me out of the house and I eventually died from a poisonous mosquito bite. Every scene was still vivid. After being bitten, I suffered from a high fever that wouldn't subside. I lay on the doorstep, miserably begging, but they just stood there, cold and uncaring. My body was burning, yet my heart felt like it was encased in a layer of ice, a scorching cold. No one could understand that despair. I still hadn't escaped that despair, I could only silently watch them. My whole family was laughing and talking happily. My mother had even started packing. Just then, my brother's phone, which he was scrolling through short videos on, played a news alert about the epidemic's progression. The news reported that 3,000 people had been bitten by poisonous mosquitoes. After being bitten, they would contract a disease called chikungunya fever. My brother laughed and swiped past, even scoffing. What's so special about poisonous mosquitoes? I'll go there and catch them all to roast and eat. I looked at my brother's mountain-like physique, my heart filled with doubt. In my past life, I had heard about the poisonous mosquito epidemic early on. I found news articles from major media outlets and tried my best to stop them from going. But now, I stood by, coldly watching everything, not even wanting to glance at them. I planned to go out and stock up on some more supplies. My brother called me back. Hey, where are you going? I stopped in my tracks. What? Are you taking me with you on the trip? My brother sneered. You think we'd take you along? What a pipe dream. You can't go, but you still have to pay up. I refused him without hesitation, but my mother wouldn't let go. Anna, how can you be so heartless? Your brother just finished his college entrance exams. He wants to relax a bit. What's wrong with you sponsoring him a little? Other people's sisters give big red envelopes. But you, not only do you not have a penny, you won't even pay for the trip expenses. Do you have any decency? My mother yelled at me, my father smoked as if he hadn't heard anything, and my brother snatched my backpack and started rummaging through it. Looking at their faces, my heart turned utterly cold. Since I was little, my mother had always ingrained in my head the idea, you must help your brother. Your brother is the face of our family, he is our hope, he is the one who will carry on the family line. You, sooner or later, will belong to another family. So, under that indoctrination, I willingly and voluntarily sacrificed for my brother for over 20 years. It was the poisonous mosquito that bit me to death that also woke me up. This time, I will absolutely not indulge them anymore. Hey, how come you don't have a single penny? My brother turned my bag inside out, then complained to me. Give him her phone, check WeChat, Alipay, everything. My mother's voice rang out, full of malice. My brother immediately obeyed, snatched my phone, and started checking. In my past life, I was so foolish to tell them all my passwords, so my brother quickly transferred all my money. Mom, she's even hidden quite a bit of private money, another 2,000 yuan. That 2,000 yuan was money I earned by working delivery shifts for several nights. It was all I had. My monthly salary was linked to my mother's bank card, so the money basically never reached my hands. My brother grinned immediately after receiving the money. Mom, hurry and book the plane tickets. My mother opened her phone, humming a tune. Suddenly, her singing stopped abruptly. My mother's expression tightened. Darling, my sisters in my group are also talking about the mosquito epidemic. Maybe we shouldn't go? I quickly interrupted. Exactly, don't go. Give me back that 2,000 yuan. My brother grew anxious when he heard that. Mom, that's just to scare people, it's not that serious. My classmates just came back from there a few days ago, they're fine. After saying that, my brother didn't forget to glare at me. You want your 2,000 yuan back? No way. Let's go book the tickets. I looked at my brother's confident expression, secretly smiling. Going is good. I'm only afraid you won't go. After that, I rushed to the pharmacy, thinking about what kind of medicines I needed. In my past life, because my brother was too fat and sweat a lot, he kept the air conditioner on all day. My bed was directly opposite the AC vent, so I often caught colds. This time, I thought, I must stock up on cold medicine and fever reducers. Also, in my past life, the poisonous mosquitoes reached our area within a few days, so I also bought various mosquito sprays, mosquito patches, mosquito repellent essential oils, and even disinfectant tools. Then I went to the supermarket and bought a lot of mineral water, instant noodles, bread, various canned goods, and biscuits. These things, if I used them sparingly, would be enough for a month without leaving the house. I just needed to hold out for a month to get past the mosquito breeding season. These things were all bought with money I borrowed through an app. Money is an external thing. Saving my life comes first. Of course, I couldn't take these things home right now. I instructed the supermarket owner to wait for my call to arrange delivery. The owner happily agreed, saying he would deliver to my doorstep. After doing all that, I looked at the 20,000 yuan debt on the app, my mind filled with 100 thoughts. To think I was someone with an income of over 10,000 yuan, yet I was exploited to the point of being penniless, having to borrow money. That's when a brilliant idea struck me. I returned home. The house was already filled with all sorts of large and small bags, all packed. As soon as my brother saw me, he spoke mockingly. Where have you been all day? Can't even help out. My mother also glared at me. Hurry up and cook, we're exhausted. My father snorted coldly, not even looking at me, and continued smoking. I looked at this family, my heart filled with extreme hatred, but I still smiled widely and said, Mom, Dad, brother, don't be angry. Aren't you going on a trip? I went to get some advice for you. I took out an insurance contract, motioning for them to sign, but they each stared at me. My mother couldn't hold back for a minute and spoke first. What do you mean? Are you wishing for us all to die so you can claim the compensation? I pretended to be filial, humbly saying, No, how could you think that about me? I'm thinking of you all wholeheartedly. Look at this clause, any injury can be compensated. Then, if you intentionally create a little incident, wouldn't the cost of this trip be covered? My brother looked at me suspiciously. Are you really that kind? This insurance premium isn't cheap. My mother glanced at it, her anger flaring. Are you crazy? Spending 60,000 yuan, wouldn't it be better to give that money to us? I continued to smile conciliatorily. Mom, you don't know the more you pay, the more you get compensated. My father stared at the amount, saying nothing, but his expression was extremely grim. To reassure them, I could only deceive them. Don't worry, the insurance company said if there are no accidents, this money can be fully refunded. Then, this money will still be yours. Hearing me say that, they finally agreed to sign. I clutched my phone. Now my debt was almost 100,000 yuan. I hoped that by then, both capital and interest could be recovered. Early the next morning, my brother and parents left, and I also began my plan. In my past life, they kicked me out of the house and deliberately changed the password to prevent me from returning. This time, I mimicked them, deleting all their fingerprints and changing the password. To prevent poisonous mosquitoes from entering the house, I deliberately reinforced the mosquito nets, ensuring no gaps were left. After that, I called the supermarket owner, asking him to deliver all the goods I had stored. And incidentally, I asked my company if I could work from home. After doing everything, I lay on my bed leisurely scrolling through my phone. Just then, my brother called, his voice unhappy. Hey, Mom booked the wrong plane tickets. We'll go another day. You stay home and cook for us. Hearing that, I was terrified and quickly said, No, don't come back. What's wrong? Are you gallivanting around again? If you don't want to cook for us, order takeout. My mother snatched the phone and said, No, it was hard for you all to get there. Coming back would be too much trouble. How about this? I'll book new plane tickets for you immediately. My brother immediately brightened up. Good, good, hurry up and book, and while you're at it, book the hotel too. Then he lowered his voice, smiling slyly. I told you I wasn't wrong, she'll definitely book it for us. My mother said triumphantly, my darling. My father also urged from the side, hurry up, don't make us wait too long. Actually, all of this was part of my plan. I wanted them to enjoy this trip thoroughly. Otherwise, the insurance I bought would be wasted. I quickly bought the earliest flight, but I bought all budget tickets, not including meals. The hotel I had booked a long time ago, deliberately choosing the cheapest guest house with only negative reviews. Someone specifically commented that there were many mosquitoes and rats there. I was still worried about how they would check in smoothly. It seems I didn't need to waste any effort. At boarding time, I deliberately called my brother. Only after confirming they had boarded the plane did I completely breathe a sigh of relief. I deliberately checked the news again, the report said. The number of cases has increased by 3,000 people, and these people all have a history of travel. I thought, as long as they stay in the guest house I deliberately booked, surely no one would escape. Thinking of this, I couldn't help but burst out laughing. Just then, my phone rang again, still my brother calling. What do you mean? You booked plane tickets for us with no meals, so I had to smell other people's food and almost starve to death. Wait till I get back, I'll deal with you. My brother's growl echoed through the phone. All my money was given to you. How could I afford economy class tickets? You be asterisk TCH, you used to borrow money, why can't you borrow now? Everyone else is eating, only our family has nothing, you've shamed the whole family. When I get back, I'll skin you alive. Hearing this, I was furious but dared not speak. I was already in my 20s, but my mother would still hit me like when I was little. This made me incredibly ashamed, so my personality became meek. Luckily, this time, perhaps they would never return. I suppressed my anger and hung up. My patience this time was so they could travel smoothly, then be eaten by poisonous mosquitoes. So now was not the time to argue. But not long after, they called again. I thought this time they must be complaining about the guest house I booked. Sure enough, before I could finish speaking, the other end of the line erupted. Oh my God, you be asterisk TCH? How can anyone stay in this place? It's so dirty. Mom, why are there even cockroaches here? This room smells musty, it's disgusting. My father also chimed in. It seemed the environment was truly terrible. They complained incessantly, each one adding to the grievances. My brother became even more furious. Damn it, hurry up and book us another place. Otherwise, I'll come back and kick you out of the house so you can never come home again. In my past life, kicking me out of the house was my brother's idea. Actually, he kicked me out not because I had a fever, but to use my computer to watch porn. He complained that I was in the way and interfered with his dirty deeds. So he told our parents, I have a fever, it might be a poisonous mosquito bite. My parents, afraid of being infected by me, listened to my brother. This mosquito is so big, is it a poisonous mosquito? My mother's voice suddenly rose sharply, followed immediately by my brother's shriek. Damn it, I've been bitten by a mosquito. Let's get out of here. My father also couldn't sit still anymore. The harvest time had not yet arrived. How could I let them leave so easily? Darling brother, my brother roared. You damn be asterisk TCH, do you want to die? Do you want me to roast you when I get back? My mother also heard that and said angrily, we're coming back right now to skin you alive. I immediately lowered my voice. Don't be angry, you're already there. What's the point of coming back now? My idea is everyone just use some fire to smoke them out, the mosquitoes will be gone. Then take pictures of the mosquito bites, and you can claim insurance compensation. It's best not to treat the bites immediately, wait for them to swell up, then the compensation will be smoother. My mother trembled and said, what if these are poisonous mosquitoes? Are you leaving us here to die? How can there be so many poisonous mosquitoes? If you're really scared, then come back. My mother was still hesitating. I continued, this place is very close to a bustling street. I've sent you a list of delicious food. If you come back, you won't get to eat any of it. This time my brother shouted, we're not going back. What poisonous mosquitoes? It's just a trick to scare cowards. After that, my brother mercilessly hung up the phone. Not long after, their social media pages were filled with many photos, all check-ins at food stalls. My brother, his mouth greasy, his face rosy, held up food and devoured it, while my parents stretched their necks in the background, posing with V signs. I carefully examined the photos and zoomed in. I saw several small and large swollen bumps on their arms. They had all been bitten. I was so happy I couldn't sleep all night. A few days later, they checked in at many more tourist attractions and restaurants, seemingly deliberately trying to provoke me. They posted many photos and even tagged me. In a photo with an elephant at the zoo, I noticed a swollen lump on my brother's face, with what looked like fluid inside. On a mountaintop, my parents spread their arms wide, imitating popular photo poses. I noticed a red patch on their arms. That was the initial symptom after being bitten by a poisonous mosquito. They had indeed believed the compensation story and didn't treat the bites much. I looked at their photos, unable to stop smiling. This was truly a taste of their own medicine. In the evening, my parents called again. "You damn B***TCH, it's all you're doing. Now my body is covered in red bumps and I have a fever. I've definitely been bitten by a poisonous mosquito. It's all your fault. I'm coming back right now. Wait till I deal with you." I scornfully said, "Now you blame me? Why don't you blame your darling son? He was the one who insisted on dragging you all to travel there." "Your brother is still young. What does he know? Why didn't you stop us?" "If I stopped you, it would be me who died. He's 18 already. Still young. I even saw him watching porn." My brother immediately flared up, embarrassed, saying, "You damn B***TCH, do you want me to call thugs to rape you and sell you off?" My mother also lost face. "What nonsense are you talking about? Your brother is about to become a decent college student. If you keep talking nonsense and affect his future, I won't forgive you." I was too lazy to argue with them, so I hung up. Now that they were infected, I worried they would rush home and burst in, so I quickly called someone to reinforce the windows. Looking at the secure, unbreakable windows, my heart finally felt a little at ease. Within half a day, my phone had over 10 missed calls. No need to ask, they were all from them. I called back to ask where they were. On the phone, my mother's voice was still firm. "You come here and pick us up. We all have a fever now, we don't have any strength left." It turned out they were still there. I scoffed. "You want me to pick you up? No way." I heard my brother whisper. "Think of a way to trick her into coming here. We can't be the only ones getting bitten, she has to taste this too." I was horrified. My brother was still the same as in my past life, still wanting to harm me, so I absolutely couldn't go. "Anna, Mom is begging you, pick us up, and I won't hit you anymore." I remained unmoved. "I'm not going." "Daughter, pick us up, and I'll return your salary card to you later." My father quickly shouted. I also heard his violent coughs. It seemed they were seriously ill. I had seen on the news that after infection, they wouldn't be unable to move. If they wanted to go to the hospital for treatment, they could still go. Compared to my past life, their situation was infinitely better than mine at that time. In my past life, I suffered from constant colds due to the air conditioner. Plus, after work, I had to do delivery jobs. My body was already exhausted and had no resistance. That's why after being bitten by the mosquito, I suddenly fell seriously ill. At that time, they kicked me out, not even allowing me to take my phone. I had no one to turn to for help, only able to beg miserably outside the door. Finally, I couldn't hold on for even one night and died. Thinking of their malicious faces, draining my life and showing no remorse, not even glancing at me after I died, how could I be soft-hearted? I still said the same thing. "I'm not going. Even if you die, I'm not going." Hearing me say that, my brother completely lost his mind, snatched the phone, and yelled, "If you don't come when we get back, I'll package 100 poisonous mosquitoes for you." He had often put centipedes, bed bugs, and toads in my school bag, pockets, and even my collar. I would scream in terror from those things. My brother would laugh even more gleefully. When I told my parents, my mother directly said, "What bad intentions does your brother have? He just wants to play with you." "Why are you making such a fuss?" My father was silent, never paying attention to me. There were even more outrageous things. My brother had been petty and malicious since childhood. Others would praise me for being obedient and say my brother was greedy and lazy. To retaliate against me, he secretly put wormwood in my rice, making me rapidly gain weight for a while. These incidents were all suppressed by my parents, who said my brother was just being playful and didn't understand, telling me not to make a fuss. If others found out, they would skin me alive. Thinking of what my brother had done before, my brother packaging poisonous mosquitoes was probably true, so I came up with another plan. I called the Center for Disease Control. Very quickly, doctors arrived to isolate them. I wasn't being kind to save them, but worried that my brother's act of packaging poisonous mosquitoes would worsen the epidemic in our area. Because I had been reborn, I had taken strict precautions, but many people were still unaware of the seriousness of the problem. If the poisonous mosquitoes spread then, the consequences would be unimaginable. It was a pity that with hospital treatment, they wouldn't die. Just suffering a little was too easy for them, but my brother's situation might be a bit worse because he was too fat and already had some underlying conditions. The news said this type of poisonous mosquito was very unfriendly to people with pre-existing conditions. Surely, even if my brother survived, he would likely have a poor quality of life for the rest of his days. I looked at the insurance contract in my hand, quickly calculating. If they didn't die, the compensation might only be enough to cover the capital. If my brother's illness worsened, the compensation could only be double. For a moment, I was a little disappointed. I had worked so hard for so long, only to get so little. If they returned safely, my life might become even more difficult later on. The more I calculated, the more bitter I felt. Suddenly, my door was violently pounded. Bang, bang, bang. The sound grew louder and louder. You damn B*TCH, you dared to change the password again. Open the door for me. It was my brother's voice. He hadn't been taken to the hospital but had escaped and returned. I looked out through the peephole and saw my brother, trembling all over, his back bent 90 degrees, using his big head to ram the anti-theft door. It seemed my brother had not received treatment and was very ill. After being bitten by a poisonous mosquito, I heard one would experience Quan Shen ache, eventually to the point of not being able to stand upright. It seemed my brother's symptoms were all severe. I shouted, "Where are Mom and Dad? Why are you alone?" "They've been quarantined, then they covered for me to escape. Open the door for me quickly or I'll break in." Indeed, they were so foolish, thinking that helping my brother escape was good for him. Little did they know it would kill him. No matter how much he pounded on the door, I firmly refused to open it. If it were before, with my brother's physique, he could surely break through the door. But now he was as soft as a pile of mud, unable to exert any strength. No matter how much he yelled, swore, or bothered me, I still wouldn't open the door for him. The neighbors also kept their distance, every house closing its doors tightly. Because of my brother's mosquito packaging incident, I had posted it in the neighborhood group chat. My parents' family had long been disliked by the people in the community, and now my brother had brought poisonous mosquitoes back, so everyone avoided them as much as possible. Finally, my brother ran out of strength. He miserably begged, "Sister, I was wrong, please let me in, I won't bully you anymore." This was the first time he called me sister, but now I no longer needed it. "You leave quickly, I won't open the door. If you want to live, go to the hospital quickly." I really wanted him to die, but seeing him die right before my eyes, I still felt a little reluctant, but I underestimated his determination to kill me. "My dear sister, I won't come in anymore. I don't want to infect you, but I'm holding your music box. I'll give it to you through the gap in the door." As soon as my brother spoke, I understood. I had turned the whole house upside down and couldn't find the music box. It turned out my brother had taken it. That was when I graduated from high school. A boy I secretly liked gave it to me. I hadn't even had a chance to properly examine it before I discovered it had disappeared from my school bag. I had searched for a very long time, so long that I still regretted it now. Especially that boy said, "Inside is the answer I want," but I still hadn't heard it. At this moment, my heart stirred again. I absolutely had to get it back. I yelled through the peephole, "Show it to me first. What if you're tricking me?" My brother rummaged in his bag for a long time. I suddenly saw a bottle peeking out from the edge of the bag. Inside were clearly black and white striped poisonous mosquitoes. My brother quickly stuffed the bottle back in and took out the music box. "Yes, it's the one I lost many years ago." If I guessed correctly, my brother would definitely take advantage of me retrieving the music box to release the poisonous mosquitoes from the bottle. Then, the poisonous mosquitoes might fly inside. "You want to trick me? No way. Look, sister, come and get it quickly. You don't want me to throw it away, do you?" "Then throw it away, I don't care." I thought that after he died, I could naturally get it. After a long time, the sounds outside the door gradually ceased. I looked through the peephole and saw my brother had disappeared. I thought he had given up. Unexpectedly, a few minutes later, he returned with a locksmith. "This is my house, I forgot the password." "Open it, sir." My brother's voice was full of malice. I quickly shouted, "Don't open it, he's been bitten by poisonous mosquitoes. Go away quickly, his bag is full of poisonous mosquitoes." The locksmith's face was horrified. I'm not doing this. My brother grabbed the man. I wasn't bitten. Look, I'm fine. There's nothing in my bag. My brother turned his bag inside out and it was empty. The man looked at my brother's face blankly, his face turning pale. My brother suddenly curled his lip, deliberately forcing a smile. But he didn't know that the dense boils on his face had started to ooze pus and blood, and his forced smile made him look even more grotesque. The man trembled with fear. I can't open this kind of door. I have hives, it's not from poisonous mosquito bites at all. Are you going to open it or not? I'll give you 10,000 yuan, my brother said aggressively. The man seemed tempted. I quickly shouted, look, he can't even stand up straight. Do you want money or your life? If you stay one more moment, you'll become like him. The man couldn't take it anymore, quickly pulled his arm away from my brother, and ran off without looking back. Seeing no more hope, my brother slumped down in front of the door, unable to get up anymore. He moaned in pain outside the door all night, then there was no more movement. After a day and a night, my brother lay there motionless. I called out a few times through the door. His head was bowed between his legs, still not moving. Had he really died? If he really died, he couldn't just lie there. The body would start to decompose in a few days, and then mosquitoes and bugs would surely swarm the place. I called the funeral home and the Center for Disease Control, telling them to come fully equipped with protective gear. I also put on the protective suit I had bought, covering myself with mosquito repellent patches. Under the witness of the funeral home staff, I carefully opened the door. The funeral home staff confirmed my brother was dead, and I finally felt relieved. I carefully took the music box out of my brother's pocket, but the bottle containing the poisonous mosquitoes was gone. The CDC staff searched for a while but couldn't find it. I suddenly thought of the music box. I took it out. The CDC staff wrapped it in a sealed plastic bag. Then, through the plastic layer, they opened it. Immediately, several large black and white striped mosquitoes flew out from inside. In an instant, my expression changed. I never thought my brother, even in death, would want to harm me. The others were also surprised. They had initially doubted my refusal to open the door, but now they said nothing. The CDC staff immediately took out a special mosquito repellent solution and extinguished the dying poisonous mosquitoes. The funeral home staff quickly wrapped my brother in a plastic bag and pulled him away. This person is too deeply infected. We must cremate him immediately. I nodded, asking them to be quick. The CDC staff disinfected the music box several times before handing it to me. Your boyfriend is very thoughtful. You must cherish it carefully from now on. I nodded vigorously and said, thank you, then took it. Earlier, when the music box was opened, not only did a few poisonous mosquitoes fly out, but also a young man's tender voice rang out. He said, I like you, Anna. If you like me too, meet me under the big pagoda tree at the school gate. Don't leave without meeting me. Oh, and remember, it's the day we fill out our university applications. No wonder on the day of university applications, my brother suddenly had a stomach ache. My mother called me, telling me to quickly go to the hospital to take care of him. So I quickly finished filling out my applications and rushed to the hospital. Only when I got there did I realize my brother was faking his illness. I hugged the music box and that boy's smile reappeared in my mind. I wondered how long he had waited that day. He must have been very disappointed. I stood there dazed for a long time, unable to snap back to reality for half a day, until the door was violently pounded again. You damn *TCH, the funeral home just called and said your brother died. Why didn't you open the door for him? Through the peephole, I saw my parents standing outside the door. My mother was as irritable as ever. She continuously pounded on the door, cursing me without end. You heartless wretch, you ungrateful creature, and you even caused your brother's death. I won't forgive you. You *TCH, open the door for me. I'll skin you alive and drag you out. Let's all die together. Oh, my poor darling. My mother cried and cursed, gradually running out of strength. But I noticed that the red bumps on her neck hadn't faded, meaning she had rushed back before fully recovering. My father was still the same, coldly watching everything, but his eyes were sharp and somewhat complex, wondering what he was thinking, and his arm was also swollen. He saw my mother couldn't curse anymore and kicked the door. Open the door quickly. Don't you dare take things in the house without permission. If I find any money missing, wait till I deal with you. I just silently watched my parents standing outside the door, my heart without much ripple. I shouted back, I won't open the door. Your belongings are in the storage room outside the door. Take your things and go back to your hometown. Actually, this house we were living in, I also paid the down payment for. They spent a lot of money to send my brother to the city for high school. Wasn't it just to continue exploiting me? They occupied my house and took all my salary, only hating that they couldn't squeeze me dry to the bone, not giving me a chance to breathe. Luckily, I had died once. Seeing their true faces also completely woke me up. I cannot be blindly filial. I cannot let this mistake continue for the rest of my life. Therefore, I must draw a clear line with them. Such parents are not needed. My parents saw I wouldn't open the door and made a fuss for a while. However, no one paid attention to them. Finally, they called the police, but for this minor matter, the police lectured my parents. At this point, they had exhausted all methods, and seeing that I remained unmoved, they could only take their luggage and leave first. After that, the epidemic became more and more serious. Because I had stocked up on supplies beforehand, I stayed in the house for a whole month. During this time, the government called on communities to do a good job of prevention and control, disinfection, and minimize unnecessary outings. Therefore, the community burned mosquito coils every day, and the management office sprayed disinfectant every day. After the efforts of all parties to combat the poisonous mosquito epidemic, the situation was quickly brought under control. When autumn brought colder weather, most of the poisonous mosquitoes had been eliminated. I could finally leave the house, basking in the sunlight once again. The things that happened in my past life would never happen again this time. I had completely escaped from them. From now on, I would have a brand new life. As I was dreaming of a beautiful future, I suddenly caught a glimpse of my mother. She limped, dragging her feet forward. I was about to turn away when my mother spotted me. She called out to me, "Anna." My mother looked distressed, rubbing her leg. I was bitten by a poisonous mosquito and rushed back before it was cured, leaving sequelae. This leg joint hurts constantly. It's unbearable. I glared at her. "So why are you here? If your leg isn't good, stay home and recover." My mother suddenly wailed loudly. "Don't try to guilt trip me. I'm not easily bullied anymore." My mother immediately lowered her voice, sobbing. "Mom no longer has a home. Your father took all of Mom's money and divorced her." Hearing that, I was so astonished my jaw almost dropped. Divorce? Why did he divorce? Isn't it because his darling son died? He said the HSU family cannot be without an heir. He wants to find someone who can bear children. I was once again surprised to the point of not being able to close my mouth. Not to mention my father had no money. Moreover, he was already in his 50s. What young girl would be willing to bear children for him? I asked my question. My mother sighed. "Your father spent 100,000 yuan to buy a foolish girl. That foolish girl is in her 30s, but she can still bear children." Hearing this, I was once again shocked. My father's actions were truly beyond compare. How much wealth did he have to inherit? Or did his HSU family have some noble gene that absolutely had to be passed on? My mother wailed again. Her purpose was to get me to take her in. How could I agree to this? After much thought, I took her to a nursing home. After that, everything in my life went smoothly. No more troublesome people or issues came looking for me. After 3 months of review, the compensation money was also deposited into my account. 5 million. I paid off all my debts, leaving 4 million. I held this huge sum of money. I could literally lay flat for the rest of my life. But the only regret was the boy I had a crush on in high school. I wondered if he was married yet. I found his contact information through a classmate. The moment the phone connected, my heart pounded incessantly. Until he said he still didn't have a girlfriend, I was so happy I almost fainted on the spot. It was truly too good. Everything was moving in a good direction. I had been reborn.